I am about to tell you about a soccer academy that was supposedly so good it made its students smarter, faster, and stronger. But I am also going to tell you about all the messed up things that went down there. So if you got selected, you really had to be special. You had to pass through a huge metal gate in order to get in, and it felt like an army base more than a soccer training camp. Now, normally, that wouldn't be a big deal, but these coaches had connections with basically every professional team on the planet. The students took classes on nutrition, medicine, psychology, biomechanics, strength training, and tactical awareness, which I guess is like game theory mixed with military strategy, if you can imagine. But what's really messed up is that none of the students knew that they were being experimented on. And this isn't something that just started happening recently either. This has been going on since the 1970s. And getting a recommendation from them could make or break your career. Others experienced strange mood swings and bursts of energy, but no one really knew what was going on. While it's true that some of the students did experience strange side effects, there were also some positive benefits that came with it as well. Some of the students felt stronger and more focused than ever before. There is a point where the physical and mental strain becomes too much to handle and people start to break. And the students of the Elite Soccer Academy were pushed to their breaking points. They were forced to confront their fears and their weaknesses, and some of them just couldn't handle it. They say that the students were injected with mind-altering drugs and brainwashed into becoming loyal soldiers. But again, there is no proof to support these claims. There were some students who couldn't take the pressure anymore and they dropped out of the program. But there are rumors that it's still around, that the experiments are still going on, but they're just a lot more secretive now. Some people believe that the academy was shut down because it was getting too dangerous, that the experiments were pushing the students too far, and it was only a matter of time before someone died. But we may never know the truth. The files on Project Elite were sealed for national security reasons, and the only people who know what really went on there are the ones who were involved in it. Some of them went on to live normal lives, while others became successful athletes in other sports. But there were also some students who suffered severe psychological damage. We may never know what really went on there, but that doesn't stop us from wondering. What would you do if you were given the opportunity to be part of the Elite Soccer Academy? Would you be willing to risk it all to become the greatest athlete in the world, or would you rather just play it safe? Let me know in the comments below. They became paranoid and delusional, convinced that they were being hunted down by shadowy figures. Others became addicted to drugs and alcohol, and still, others simply disappeared, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions and theories. Others say that they developed a sixth sense on the field, like they could predict what was going to happen next, or make split-second decisions that saved games. Now, I don't know about you, but that sounds pretty sus to me. Now come on, who develops a sixth sense for soccer? But those are the claims that these students are making, and the worst part is that it is really hard to disprove them. Because everything that happened at the academy was top secret. No one was allowed to talk about it, and the students were too afraid of losing their careers to come forward with their stories until they were much older. So we may never know what really happened there. We now know that they were experiencing the side effects of the drugs that were being injected into them, but back then, they just thought that they were going crazy. But the craziest part is that they were willing participants. They wanted to push themselves to the limit and find out what they were capable of. They wanted to be there. They wanted to become the best soccer players in the world, even if it meant sacrificing their privacy and their dignity. But that was only the tip of the iceberg. As more and more people came forward, we uncovered the truth about Project Elite. The documents also said that if you tried to leave the program, you would have to pay $1 million to terminate your contract. So you better not mess that up. So the question was, what exactly were they doing? This was obviously designed to prevent the students from leaving, but it also proved that the academy was making money off of the students. They weren't doing it as a charity. Some of the parents waited until their kid was almost 18 years old before letting them go to the academy, because by that age, they would no longer be considered minors. And then once they entered the academy, they would be allowed to leave whenever they wanted. But that didn't stop the rumors from circulating that some of the students never left. It was almost too good to be true. The training was free, and so were the high-tech clothes that they provided you with, along with food and accommodation. And some parents of selected students had a bad feeling about the whole thing, so they tried to look into it a little bit before sending their kid off to the academy. But they couldn't find anything online. There wasn't even a website for it. All they knew was that it was run by a mysterious billionaire who just wanted to help soccer players reach their potential. But when they tried to find out who this person was, they found absolutely nothing. And so the kids went off to the academy without anyone knowing where exactly it was or what would happen to them once they got there. There were only 30 spots available at this soccer academy, but over 400,000 kids from all around the world applied to get in. It was located somewhere in the middle of nowhere. As soon as the students got there, they had to sign documents that said that if they ever talked about what went on at the academy, they wouldn't get a recommendation letter from the coaches. Now, we do know how they made the students faster, stronger, and smarter, though. In 2016, a former student came forward and revealed that the founder of the academy, Robert Hoyzer, had secretly put microchips in the players, so he could monitor their every move. Now, the students didn't realize that they were being monitored 24/7. And the scariest part is that they were actually kind of proud of it. They thought that it was helping them improve their game, when in reality, they were just being watched. They were given high-tech clothing that contained sensors to monitor their heart rate, muscle activity, and brain waves. They were hooked up to machines that measured their balance and reaction time. They were injected with substances that changed the way that their brains worked. And their DNA was studied extensively. Basically, they were the guinea pigs of the elite soccer academy. And the only purpose that they had was to advance Robert Hoyzer's research. This guy was obsessed with unlocking the secrets of human performance, but his methods were highly unethical. He believed that the key to success lay in understanding the way that our brains work, and so he began experimenting on people in order to find out what makes us tick. At first, he just tested his own employees, but then he decided to take things to the next level. That's when he created Project Elite, a secret program designed to study the inner workings of the most talented athletes in the world. The students had no idea that they were being experimented on, though. They just thought that they were training hard and pushing themselves to the limit. But what did they get out of it? Well, some of the students reported feeling strange sensations, like their arms and legs feeling heavy or their vision blurring. Now, here's the thing. What we do know is that the students were used as guinea pigs in a twisted game of scientific experimentation. But the truth is that there is a dark side to pushing ourselves to the limit. Here's the thing. The human mind is a powerful thing. It can push us to accomplish amazing things, but it can also drive us insane. So what happened to the academy? Well, it closed down in the early 2000s, supposedly because Robert Hoyzer lost interest in it. Some people say that the soccer academy was a front for something much more sinister, that it was a place where the government experimented on young athletes in order to develop the perfect soldier. What we do know is that the elite soccer academy was a place of mystery and intrigue, a place where young athletes were pushed to their limits, both physically and mentally. Thanks for watching. See you next time.